Mic check. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Dr. Garais, BIO111, Anatomy and Physiology 1, and we are about to now do the after action of an exam 2, chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7, performed on May 23rd, 2023. Now, if you look at the statistics, class average was 90.4, and the majority of the class was above the passing 80% line, with many students being in the 90 to 95 range. So let's open up a Microsoft Word document, and I'm going to list down some major topics that several of the class kind of missed. Nice and slow. Okay, now we're good. Let's make it bulleted and let's make it a little bit bigger so we can all see it while we're playing at home. So let me now look. Question 1, a lot of people got it. It's okay. The different chemical reactions, anabolism versus catabolism. Question 2, 1 or 2 people got wrong, and that is again, which of the following reactions breaks down water? Remember, hydrolysis. So let's write down anabolism versus catabolism one last time. So of course, the sum of the two would be metabolism. But anabolism, I'm building things. Catabolism, I'm breaking things down. So think dehydration synthesis. Look at the word synthesis. I'm building something up. So that's anabolism. And of course, hydrolysis, what are you doing to water? You're breaking it down, right? So you're going to think what? Catabolism. Next question. Choose the true statement regarding anabolism. A couple you got wrong, not too bad. But remember, make that chart between anabolism and catabolism because it'll come back again. And of course, anabolism, if I'm building something, requires ATP. And if I'm breaking things down, I'm breaking down or opening bonds. That's what? Metabolism. I want to break down the bonds in the phosphate groups of ATP, and what will they release from me? They will release from me adenosine triphosphate, and with the byproducts of H plus in the form of lactic acid, and water in the form of water vapor when you breathe out. The next question, let's look. A lot of you got that one. It's pretty good. And the question was, enzymes, which would break down carbohydrates. And then the other one was a denaturation question, which was, of course, what is the chemistry term that breaks down the structure of a protein using heat or drastic changes in pH? That's denaturation. Remember, denaturation is different than like a proteinase or an enzyme. Denaturation is you're actually messing with, you're breaking it down to its simple amino acid parts. You're actually messing with all 4 levels of a protein formation, which is, of course, primary, secondary, tertiary, and of course, quaternary. Next question, let's look at how you guys doing on that. Again, another enzyme question. Majority of the group, not a problem. Next question. Iron. Coenzyme or cofactor? A couple of you got that wrong. So let's, the 2 things that help enzymes. So of course, coenzyme, I want you to think vitamin. Cofactor, I want you to think something like ferrous, which is mineral. They both help enzymes. The coenzymes are vitamins. Cofactors are like they're what do you call it? Minerals. Next, what number is this? Number 8. Let's look at 9. Does not require oxygen. You guys did pretty good on that one. That's of course glycolysis is anaerobic. All the other processes are aerobic. Next one, I think only 2 people got this one wrong, and that was the strand of DNA question. So I don't think you guys are in trouble on that part. This one you also did well on. What kind of bond connects DNA bases? Of course, hydrogen bonds. Next one, layer, which layer has all the fat? And of course, that's your subcutaneous layer. And it makes sense. All the cushions, all the heat preservation, it's got to be deeper. Oh, 14. Let me see. Nope, a lot of you guys got that right as well, which is the vascular layer. Of course, that's the epidermis. Okay. What number am I on? 16. What number am I on? 18? Oh, we forgot. Pseudostratified. And you guys did good on that. Oopsies. Next one. A couple of you got it wrong, not a lot. Pseudostratified columnar. So, let me put that for completion. Know your type of epithelium because a couple you got it. And this one in question 19 was an example. Where would you find pseudostratified columnar area or columnar cells with goblet cells? Of course, you find them in the bronchial tree or the tubing in your bronchus, which is inside your lungs. 19, number 20. Function of your mucus. In the small intestine, it's for lubrication. In the bronchi or inside your lungs, it's an immune function. We went over that, and many of you got that one right. Everyone got this one right. Exocrine classification of mammary glands, which is apocrine. Everyone got this one right. An example of holocrine gland, of course, it's sebaceous. Number 23, a whole. Oh, 23 is a bonus. I put the wrong answer. Okay, let me make a note of that. So everyone who got that wrong, which is almost everybody, right? Remember, histamine promotes inflammation. And what thins out your blood? Heparin. And I got that backwards. So that was number 23. So a whole bunch of people are going to have extra points. Well, 2 points, better than 0. Now let's look at the next one. We're halfway through. We are at number 24. Oh, hold up, I'm having some technical difficulty. There you go. So what kind of fibers are in your vocal cords? Elastic fibers. The strongest, collagen, and the ones that you find in your liver and your spleen, those are reticular fibers. Everyone did well on that one. Next one, support cell for neurons. Everyone got that one. That's, of course, neuroglia. Next question. What is an osteon? It's the functional unit of bone. A lot of people got that one right as well. Rhythmic syncytium, we already know that's cardiac cells. Everyone got that one right. Everyone got this next one right. What is the function of melanin, which is protection against UV radiation? The next one, now we're working with, a couple of you people got this one wrong. So, which of the following nervous tissue is for deep touch? It's Pacinian. The Pacinian is on the deep. So, man, we're still getting that one wrong. So, deep versus light touch. So, of course, light is Merkel's, also known as Meissner's. Actually not the same thing, but it does relatively the same thing, which is for light touch, closer to the top part of the dermis. And then for deep, it's always Pacinian. Number 30. Where would you find ceruminous glands? Only one person got that wrong. Cerumen is earwax, so we'd find it in the ear canal. Vitamin D, the sun. A couple of you got that wrong, surprisingly. So let's do the diagram. Sun, then it hits the human body, and then in your skin, it converts UV radiation, converts to vitamin D. Then vitamin D, oopsies. Why is that work? Vitamin D then helps in calcium control. So vitamin D is synonymous with calcium. And where did we get? How did the chemicals in our body convert to vitamin D? Well, the sun sent out UV radiation, and remember, all in moderation, not too much. So vitamin D then gets converted, and then calcium gets balanced out. That was number 31. Clever. 32. Which is the function of dendritic cells? A couple of you got that wrong, so let's write it down. Okay, dendritic, phagocytic cells, we are now on question number 32. Question number 33, 1 and 2 got long, dendritic cells. Oh, I already wrote that down. Next one. Now, this is number 34, number 34. Oh, everyone got right. So, if it's freezing, what will happen to the upper dermal layers? I want to keep my blood, so it will be constriction. If I ask the same question, what if it was freezing temperatures? What would be the response of the lower dermal arteries? It would be the exact opposite, vasodilatation. Everyone did good on that one. But 35, I started asking about the lower dermis. Now, if it's hot outside, the upper dermis will vasodilate, would open up. But if it's hot outside, it is the lower levels that will vasoconstrict. Did I put it up already? No. Vasoconstriction. When? Upper dermis. When? When it's hot. At the same time, There's vasodilation, lower dermis. So remember, upper dermis and lower parts of the skin act differently. If it's hot, there will be vasoconstriction of the upper dermis. If it's cold, there'll be vasoconstriction of the upper dermis. But always when you're looking at upper and lower dermis, they're opposites of each other. So look up the primary one, which is the upper dermis, right? And then of course the other side of the coin would be what? The lower dermis. And it should be an exact opposite. What number was that? 35, 36. A couple of you got 36 wrong. It was periosteum, endosteum question, but overall the class did well on that one. Next one, a couple of you got hit on this. Cartilage found in long bones, it'll be found in the epiphysis. So articular cartilage, I hit some of you twice in a row with that. Articular cartilage is located on the ends of bone. That's what? Epiphysis. Ends. $38. Red marrow versus yellow marrow. You guys did pretty good on that. Next one, that's the one you got hit on. Let's talk about Haversian's canals. Haversian canals. Be bone, therefore, what does Haversian canals have in it? Arteries, veins, nerves. That's what's inside the Haversian canal, which is the center part of the osteon, which is in compact bone. Next one. Down in the home stretch. Only one or two you got this wrong. So, but you know what? Cervical vertebrae. C1 is atlas. C2 is axis. There are 7 total cervical vertebrae. Okay, next. Mm, 43 did okay. Axial versus appendicular. I'm not going to go over that. You guys did well on that. Only one person got that wrong. Tibia, shin, everyone got that. The next one, everyone but one got tarsal bones. Remember, let's just write it down. Tarsals and carpal bones. What's I gonna write? Tarsal and carpal bones. I want you to think of them as what? Short for both. Number 45, 46. Many of you got that one down. Sesamoid shape, kneecap, your patella. Good job. Next one, morphologic classification of bone that describes your cranium. Remember, pancake on your head. So that's your cranium. I believe this is number 47. Yep, everyone got that one. Number 48. Fractured the distal third of the phalanges, lower extremity right. So lower extremity, the patient broke toes, and 48, everybody but one person got that right. One person got this one wrong. Where's your shoulder blade? Of course, your scapula. Looks like the word scalpel, which is also another blade. And then it's 49. And last but not least, number 50, the patient fractured their zygomatic bone. What bone was broken? And zygomatic is, of course, your cheek bone. Okay, so these seem to be the topics that that people kind of stumbled on a little bit. But again, the overall grades as a class pretty darn good. But we're always learning to improve. So kindly review anabolism versus catabolism. Something that has to build up and require heat, something that breaks down stuff and then releases energy, also can release heat. Dehydration synthesis, anabolism, requires ATP. Hydrolysis, and of course, catabolism, breaking down the hydro, which is water. Coenzymes, cofactors, know that. Types of epithelial, an example. So let's run through that real quick. Squamous is flat. So you're going to think what? Skin or covering. Cuboidal is box-like. So you're going to think liver and pancreas. Simple simple columnar with goblet cells and microvilli, you're going to think small intestine. And of course, the opposite is, of course, your pseudostratified with goblet cells. Pseudostratified, I want you to start thinking of lung, and specifically your bronchioles or the tubing that help you breathe. Deep versus light touch, went over. Merkel's and Meissner's are up top. The Pacinian is deep. The sun sends out UV radiation, which converts vitamin D into calcium homeostasis. Dendritic cells, I want you to think immune response, phagocytic cells. And vasoconstriction versus vasodilation. Vasoconstriction, not construction, right? And upper dermis, hot. Vasodilatation, lower dermis. And if it's cold, it's the exact opposite. Articular cartilage only on the ends of the epiphyses. These already went over. Now, could we expand this to thoracic? The thoracic vertebrae? 12 of them, to match your ribs. Lumbar, which are 5. Sacral, there's only 1. Sacral, single. And of course, 1 on the end, the coccyx, the tailbone. Of course, single. If you have 2 tailbones, that's something up. Other than that, this is the review. Well done, this class as a whole. If you have any questions, call me, email me by emailing me, and I'll see you in class.